For generations, the legend whispered on the winded tale of lost Confederate gold, a treasure vast enough to change the course of history, spirited away in the dying days of the Civil War. They called it a fool's errand, a ghost story told around campfires. But for me, it was a calling. It started with a tattered map, a family heirloom passed down with more skepticism than hope. The ink was faded, the paper brittle, but the landmarks it depicted were still etched into the Virginia landscape, waiting to be rediscovered. My journey began in the archives of Richmond, sifting through dusty ledgers and forgotten correspondences. I traced the steps of Major Thomas Abernathy, a man tasked with a secret mission by the Confederate government. The official records were a dead end, a series of cryptic transfers and sudden disappearances. But in the margins of his personal journal, a different story emerged. It wasn't just about gold. It was about loyalty, desperation, and a promise made to a fallen Brotherynams. The map wasn't just a guide to a treasure. It was a memorial. The trail led me out of the city and into the rolling hills of the Shenandoah Valley. Each landmark on the map, the split oak, the hanging rock, the forgotten stone well, was a breadcrumb Abernathy left behind. With every step, I felt closer not to a fortune, but to the man himself. I imagined him on this very path, the weight of a nation's last hope on his shoulders, his heart heavy with the losses of war. I camped under the same stars, drank from the same streams, and felt the whisper of his presence in the rustling leaves. This wasn't a simple treasure hunt. It was a pilgrimage. The clues weren't just geographical, they were personal. A coded message hidden in a family Bible pointed not to a location, but to a date. The anniversary of the Battle of Cedar Creek, a day of immense loss for Abernathy's unit. Another clue, a pressed flower tucked within his journal, was identified as a species unique to a specific ridge overlooking a quiet, secluded valley. The gold was secondary. The real treasure was understanding the why. Why hide it here? The deeper I went, the more I realized Abernathy wasn't just hiding the gold. He was protecting a memory. His letters spoke of a young soldier, his wife's brother, who fell in a nameless skirmish in this very valley. He was buried where he fell, his grave marked only by a pile of stones. The soldier's last possession was a simple, hand-carved locket, a gift from his sister Bernathy's wife. He had promised to bring it home. But in the chaos of retreat, the locket was lost along with the soldier's life. As I followed the final set of coordinates, they didn't lead me to a cave or a buried chest. They led me to a small, secluded clearing, barely visible from the main trail. It was a place of profound peace, untouched by time. There, at the base of an ancient maple tree, was a simple, unmarked soldier's grave, just a mound of earth and a few weathered stones. It was exactly as Abernathy had described it. I had reached the end of the map, but there was no gold. For a moment, disappointment washed over me. Had it all been for nothing? A wild goose chase through history? But then I saw it. Tucked into the roots of the tree, almost swallowed by the earth, was a small, tarnished brass locket. I gently picked it up and opened it. Inside, faded but still visible, was the portrait of a young woman, Abernathy's wife. This was the true treasure. Abernathy never found the body of his brother-in-law, but he had found this sacred spot, a place to honor his memory. The gold, the official records I'd initially dismissed, suddenly made sense. The transfers, the coded ledgers. Abernathy hadn't hidden the gold. He had to shed it, piece by piece, to provide for the widows and orphans of his fallen men. Fulfilling a duty that went far beyond his orders, he created a legend to cover his tracks, a ghost story to protect the families he was secretly supporting. The lost treasure of the Confederacy wasn't buried in the ground. It was invested in the lives of those left behind. And so, here I am, as the sun rises over this quiet valley. The air is still, filled with the gentle song of mourning birds. Before me lies the unmarked grave, a silent testament to a forgotten soldier and the incredible lengths one man went to honor a promise. I placed the locket here, on the soft earth, near the stones. As the first rays of sunlight break through the clouds, a golden light illuminates the clearing, a symbolic closure that feels more valuable than any physical treasure. In the end, the gold was lost, But the story was found, a story of sacrifice, honor, and a love that transcended war. It's a powerful reminder that some treasures belong not to individuals, but to history itself, enriching us not with wealth, but with a deeper understanding of who we are. The greatest fortunes aren't the ones we dig from the ground, but the ones we uncover in the human heart. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. If you were moved by this story, please consider liking and subscribing for more explorations into the hidden corners of history.